Hey, the Breakmaster here. This is gonna be my Nazo no Kanojo X, aka Mysterious Girlfriend X, episode 10 review. And I gotta say, this might be one of the best episodes of Nazo no Kanojo X so far. I mean, this show is just really good. Actually, I really like how the relationship is going with everything, and this twist right now that happens in this episode. Just like, what the heck, what the heck. That's how I really enjoyed this episode here. So basically, let's go to the review. He ends up in the store again. You know that store, the bookstore that I was in before. I think it was last episode. Yeah, he ends up looking at that book of Momoka that looks just like freaking Urabe, right? And he's like, man, I don't know why Urabe was so mad that I had this book and everything like that. It looks just like Urabe. I only like her because of Urabe. Like, why doesn't she understand and stuff? I'm like, because you have her, you have a physical thing. You know what? Why you need a book for? Yeah. He's acting a little stupid there. But I think, actually, he was at the bookstore. I think he actually bought that book. I'm not exactly sure, but he had something in his bag. So I'm guessing he actually rebought that book. Because I think it was the latest issue, actually, that came out. So I think he bought that book. And if that's the case, he's trying to hide that book and just have it for himself still. He's still going to have it. I'm like, what's wrong with you, dude? Come on. And so then, as he was buying the book, he ends up running into old classmates from his middle school years, I think. Junior high school years. And that girl is Hayakawa, and Hayakawa is the girl he used to like. And so, yeah, she ended up cutting her hair, and he didn't realize who it was at first. And he's like, oh, it's Hayakawa. And so then they end up hanging out a little bit. They start talking about the past, and apparently Hayakawa knew that Tsubaki liked her, and that he stared at her back all the time. He's like, no, I want to stand at your back. I want to stand at your hair, and I wonder how it felt, and what it tasted like, what it smelled like. And then he was acting like a creep one time. Like a strand of hair fell on the seat. He ended up taking that strand of hair, putting this in this ball container thing, and he sniffs it, and he's all compressing it and stuff, holding it. Like it was weird. It was weird. And then he's like, I guess that's like a creep, don't I? He's like, well, actually, I did this one time with this guy I liked, and I had his mug, and I was like kissing the same spot where he drunk from the mug and stuff. I'm like, what's wrong with you suckers? Y'all both crazy. Yeah. So yeah, so they're trying to get all this stuff going on. And apparently, Hayakawa lost her boyfriend, or they broke up, and the boyfriend broke up with her and everything like that. And she was kind of sad and whatnot. And he was just saying, I can't believe someone would break up with you. You're cute and blah blah blah. Giving her all these compliments, and he's all blushing this whole time. And the way the talk was going, it was just like somewhat flirtation going on, and it just was like getting weirder and weirder as the talk kept going, and to a point to where that she was crying. She got up and everything. She had like the weird cutish look I guess he likes, and he had drool on her, she had drool on her face, and she's like drool. Doing that, but he's like drool, oh my god, and he's like and she's like, can we hang out more or something, like if from time to time can we hang out and everything, and he's like if you let me taste your drool, then maybe we can hang out sometime. I'm like, and he's like, oh, no, I'm sorry, no. But then she's like, okay, here you go. I'm like, okay. And then he was about to do it. I was like, what are you doing? And then he remembers, Robbie. I'm like, thank you. You freaking, you just losing your mind, sucker. You're losing your mind, Tsubaki. But he ends up remembering Urabe, and Urabe's like, this is the bond we share. If you take that drool, you break that bond with Urabe. And I'm like, thank God he didn't do it. And he's like, and she's like, oh, so you do have a girlfriend, because he did say he didn't have a girlfriend at first. Because I don't know why he always doesn't say anything. You don't ever admit that he has a girlfriend. I don't know what's up with that. You don't like her or something? What's going on? Yeah, it's annoying. At this point, he should be able to just be more open about it. But again, he's not. But so he ends up actually telling her that he has a girlfriend, and her name is Urabe Mikoto. And yeah, then she just leaves all of a sudden. I'm like, okay, I'm always wondering what's going on. And so this is where the plot just starts going crazy. This is where it really thickens right here. Right here. And she ends up meeting with Urabe, Hayakawa, and he's like, oh, he's like, I know who you are. You used to be that girl that Tsubaki used to like. And he's like, yeah, I used to be in here, his girlfriend, and blah blah blah. And she's like, what do you want? Because he's always just trying to gussle her up and stuff. Like, just what do you want? What do you want? And so she ends up handing this book to her. And he's like, oh, this is a cultural festival. I'm gonna if you should come, because you're gonna see something really interesting and stuff. And I was like, it's weird because like I said, she can tell that something's going on. And so then as Tsubaki ends up getting his portion of saliva, Tsubaki ends up confronting him a little bit and asking, "You got any plans on Sunday?" Because that's when the cultural festival is gonna happen. And apparently, oh yeah, let me backtrack a bit for a sec. Tsubaki ends up agreeing to go to the cultural festival only on a condition because of what happened. This is where it's like I said, this is where things is like, what the heck? This condition right here, and this is like this whole scenario was just like wow. So Hayakawa ends up calling Tsubaki and ends up meeting up with him like late at night. It was like dark and crap, and so they meet up and everything like that. And then Tsubaki knows she had a band-aid on her eye, or right by her eye, and then she takes off the band-aid and it's a wound. And he's like, oh my god. And he's like, the ex-boyfriend, the boyfriend I used to have, he hit me because he wanted me back, and I said no. And he's gonna be at the cultural festival, and I want to go too. So I need you to be my pretend boyfriend. If he sees us together, he'll give up on us. And to me, that's kind of a bad situation because if that guy's abusive, I don't think Tsubaki can fight. If that guy is gonna be that kind of abusive to that girl and wants to be with her, and they meet up with each other or something, if that's a true story. And he's gonna get his butt whooped. I mean, like this whole thing was, I don't know. I don't necessarily do it. This is where this is where the decision making of him is just like really bad. He ends up actually agreeing to be a pretend boyfriend for that day, and he's all saying, "I'm sorry, Rabbi," like in his mind and whatnot. I'm like, you shouldn't agree to this. There's too many negatives than there is positives to this. I mean, yes, the positive, you can't possibly help this girl if something was actually wrong with her, because there's nothing wrong with her. She made that all up. It's all a freaking trick. That was just makeup that she had that was look like a wound. That was nothing. So it's just like she just tricked them to going over there so they can see something weird. Watch, because that's why he's telling Robbie they're gonna see something interesting. There's gonna be those two together. And so I'm just curious what she's gonna try to do. I mean, this is just like what the heck. And so, like I said, his decision making was just decision making was stupid. He shouldn't have done that. Too many negatives, not enough positives to be in the situation. Yes, she's sad and she's hurt. Possibly if that was a true story, which is not a true story, but it was dumb. And so Robbie ends up confronting him about the whole cultural festival, and he's like, oh, not saying cultural festival. She didn't say the cultural festival. He's like, got any plans on Sunday? Because that's when it's happening. And he's like, oh, he lies to her. I was like, what the heck? And he's like, oh, I'm gonna go shopping with Ueno. And so the next day happens. Robin ends up figuring out that Ueno ain't going to the freaking shopping with him. He's going to a cultural festival with his girlfriend, with Oka. And so it's just like, so now she knows something's gone. And then the funny thing is, Oka's always being able to know what's going on exactly. He's like, either he's lying to you, or he has the plan, or he has the days mixed up. And he's like, I'm like, oh, come on. And so then the cultural festival happens. They end up meeting up, and Hayakawa ends up coming to that cultural festival, not with a costume because it's a costume cultural festival, but she doesn't really come with a costume. She comes with her whole junior high school outfit, uniform, and it's just like, and she puts a wig on for the long hair, and I'm like, and just like, and he's like, let's do this, and so I'm pretty sure Robert's gonna be there, since Ueno is gonna be there as well too, and Oka, so this is all gonna be like a big mess, and it's just like, what's gonna happen next? I'm just like, what the heck? So like I said, that's why I really like this episode. It was just Hayakawa, come on. She just like protect. She just wants to mess with stuff. And the thing is, I'm curious. Does she even like him, or does she just want him because he has a girlfriend now? Because like he's been liking her for 3 years straight, and then now he's not liking her. All of a sudden, she wants to get with him. Like, come on. I'm just saying. So leave your comments below and tell me what you think this episode. Like if you like this review, and subscribe to my channel for some more Mysterious Girlfriend X, aka Nazo no Kanojo X reviews. So yeah, it's been the Thabreakmasta, and until then, break out.